talk a bit about the auto space because today it has the FADA that has come out with its December retail sales data, and this time what we are seeing is a bit of a decline. The retail sales have seen a decline of almost 12.5% on a YOY basis. Majorly all the segments have posted a negative figure, barring the tractor sales, which has seen a jump not just on a YOY basis but also on a monthly basis as well. So let's try and understand more about the internals. How did the retail sales pan out and what is the FADA's outlook going ahead? And for this we have been joined by Mr. C.S. Vigneshwar, who is the president of FADA, joining us right now. Hi, very good morning, sir, and thank you so much for our time. First up, I wanted to ask you on the passenger vehicle segment, because if we look at the laggards in this particular month, then definitely passenger vehicle sales has seen a decline of 2%, but that's not substantial. The reason I ask is because just a couple of months back, FADA was very vocal in talking about the inventory issues that were there and lying with the dealers. But now, given this new year, companies like Maruti and the rest are now telling that the inventory levels have moderated sharply. So wanted to understand your take and have your take on this one, and specifically for the passenger vehicle segment, what is the outlook going ahead?
Srishti, first of all, thanks for having us over. It's a very pertinent question, and yes, 4 months ago, there were incredibly high inventory levels, the highest ever recorded in our memory at least. But that has been happening 4 months, for 5 months previous to the highest ever levels, where it kept on building up over time. Right now, our inventory levels, we predict, is around 55 days in passenger vehicle segment. Yes, it's come down from the highs of 85 to 90 days. But right now, it's still high. We are comfortable with an inventory of about 21 days, where it's optimal inventory in terms of choice available to the customer, as well as a decent stock levels available. Of course, all this is calculated based on our margins and how the cost of vehicles would affect it. In the last 3-4 months, there's been a systematic drop in inventory levels, but this needs to continue for the next quarter at least to reach the 21 days stock, which we envisage, and we think would be best for every stakeholder in the industry. Going into the next quarter, it's going to be quite a strong quarter. One of the reasons is also that the auto show is coming up, new launches are there, new product refreshes are going to happen. So it's going to add a lot of excitement into the market. Apart from that, last month, the last week of the last month, we also saw that there was a sudden drop-off of retails and demand and walk-ins. We envisage that such a reason would happen because it happens pretty much every year. But this time it was a little bit more steeper. Just as on the record, when you look at it, when you look at data, at least 30 to 40% of our sales happen in the last week of every month. And this week, the last week of December, there was a tapering off of demand. We think that this is because of the vacations. People would have either gone on vacations, wouldn't have time to look at the car purchases. Or secondly, there would also been an issue regarding waiting for the 25 model registrations. So these two probably would mean that there would be a heightened demand in January. And we're also looking at Jan, Feb, March, the first calendar quarter, to be a very strong quarter, and we're looking forward to it.
Mr. Vigneshwar, talk to us about the two-wheeler category as well. I mean, from what I see, it has almost breached its calendar year 2018 peak. And in fact, if you look at the challenges also for the ICE two-wheeler category, there have been competition rising from the EV segment, and of course, there is new CNG coming in. What are going to be the themes, and is it likely to sustain the momentum that we saw this time?
There is going to be this multiple fuel game in the future. We're going to have, in the two-wheeler segment, the EVs playing a major job. The CNG is also coming in, playing its part. It's, again, very nascent, but we predict that as demand is going to be good and more competition is going to come there. And also your normal petrol, gasoline vehicle would also continue for the demand. In the month of December, we saw a drop-off of nearly, 12% in the two-wheeler segment. One of the reasons also would be that the rural demand was a little bit suspect. 60% of our two-wheeler contribution comes from rural. And we noticed that the tractor sales being strong, while the two-wheeler sales being weak, which basically means, yes, there's a lot of produce, the harvest has happened, but the produce has yet to get the money into the farmer's hands. So probably there would be a lag of a couple of weeks or a month. Therefore, we predict the demand for two-wheelers to be quite strong, of course, led by the engine of Bharat, the rural areas, to make sure that the numbers are prepped up, and the next quarter is going to be strong there as well.
Mr. Vigneshwar, I just wanted to have your take on the upcoming new launches, and specifically we are expecting a lot of these launches in the electric vehicle side from the car companies. How exciting is the market looking like at this point in time? What are the dealers indicating? Because it's not just M&M that will be coming out with the models, and the dealers will be getting those at the dealerships in a couple of months, but it's Maruti and Creta as well. Those companies too will make the market quite exciting. So just wanted to have the dealers' take on this one, that what is something that the customers will be really willing and looking for an EV purchase?
The EVs are going to play a major game in the future. This is also to reduce the dependence on fossil fuels, which is a big initiative by the government. So the industry is here to support, and of course, the choice is with the customer. The choice of the customer would be either to buy a CNG vehicle, a hybrid vehicle, an EV, or a pure gasoline or diesel. If each of these vehicles, it's horses for courses, it suits certain applications and in certain verticals in terms of commercial vehicles, taxis, passenger vehicles, and so on. It's going to be quite a strong quarter from the point of view that the passenger vehicle segment is going to have a lot of launches, both in gasoline as well as EVs. We also already seen a couple of EV launches happen towards the end of last year. We're also going to have a lot of EV launches and vehicles being showcased in the Bharat Mobility Show. All these things are really going to make an impact. We ended last year with a 3% market share in EV passenger vehicle sales, which is a very small jump from the 2023 levels. But this is only bound to grow. With more products out there, with more choices out there, the customer would make a choice. And I feel that EVs are going to play a major role in the future. And we as dealerships, we are delighted to serve the customers' requirements, whether it's EV or any other fuel of choice.
Mr. Vigneshwar, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on the show.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.